Today our topic is property management. Lot of NRIs from Andhra and Telangana region, people are staying in different countries in the world. Now, right here we are with Mr. Srinivas Kaveti, who is an international lawyer, and we are discussing about the property management, how the property management is going there in US, UK and Canada and everywhere. At the same time, what we are going to do in India right now. So we will ask with Mr. Kaveti and we will know how the things going on. Sir, Chepandi. Sir, let me know. So many NRIs from Andhra and Telangana region. People are staying there in different countries in the world. So they have their properties in India, in their hometowns, wherever it is, in cosmopolitan cities in India. So their parents are in senior citizens and they doesn't know what to do, what not to do. But they are buying properties here in India and they are a little bit suffering because we have seen nowadays we have seen in papers lot of properties are going to win different issues. So what do you think about this?
It's a good topic, Sharke. Yes, in America and UK and all the Western countries, property management is very common. First of all, we need to understand what is the property management. The property management, the definition of property is movable property and immovable property as per India.
Yes.
And in the Western world, this word is not used.
Yes.
The immovable property means any land or any house. In the Western world, they are called real estate property. And movable property means you could say cars, you could say stocks, you could say bonds, anything which is movable. So the movable property in the Western world is called personal property. That means you might have a big painting, millions of dollars. You might have some old car, which is like 100 years old car, something like that. So these properties are managed. I mean, in India, the concept of property management is more prevalent in Madras and Mumbai and Calcutta. Why is that? Because if you see these cities, they were called princely states. What is the meaning of princely states? Where the presidency was there. Presidency means all the English people were there. They ruled it. So they were there initially. So because they came to India in those big cities, they brought their law with them in their baggage. So they brought their solicitors, barristers, legal system, court system and everything. So in these big cities like Calcutta, Bombay is very popular. The most of the property management is done by actually lawyers, and these are called solicitors. And if you see in Great Britain and even in America, the attorneys, there are a lot of attorneys, they manage the properties. So what is basically managing the property? Let's say if you're an owner of a property and you have a house in Hyderabad, let's say, and you went to England and you settled in England, or you settled in America or any western part of the world. You're living in those countries, but your property is in India. Let's say your agricultural property or your home, and you could have multiple properties, multiple immovable properties. See, what is the meaning of management? One is managing means if you want to rent it out, you give it to a company, and these companies are called real estate companies. And even in India, they have come, RERA law has come, and property management companies have come. Big companies, they give that to, all these multinationals, they buy properties and they give it to a property management company. What does it basically means? If you have a property, every year you get real estate bills, which is called municipal tax bills.
Property tax.
Property tax. It's called property tax here. In the Australia, it's called rates. In America, different countries, they use different words. It's called a real estate property bill in England and, different names. But basically, it's a municipal tax. Who will pay? If you're in America or England, somebody has to pay this tax. If you don't pay, then the municipality could levy a lien on your property because you're supposed to pay the tax. So that's a first obligation for any landowner or for any property owner to pay the tax. So those things are taken care by the lawyers. So where does the money come from? Then let's say if you don't want to send money from UK, then they will say, the landowner will say, the owner of the property will say, hey, can you rent this property for me? So landlord and tenancy is a very complex transaction. Why? Because before you give the rent of a property, you want to see whether this tenant has credibility, financial credibility to pay the rent. Number one is first they need to do the due diligence of the tenant, and two, what is the meaning of due diligence? Basically checking their work history, checking their criminal history, checking their prior history, where they've been living, and basically get good references from previous employers and previous landowners, means wherever they were renting out. So those things are done by the solicitors, attorneys, advocates. Now in Bombay they're doing it, and this property management company does it before they prepare a lease. And in India it's called rental deed, and it's a contract between the landlord and tenant. But you're not there, you're the landowner, you're somewhere in America or England. So on your behalf, you give a specific power of attorney to the property management company. The property management company, what they would do, they would draw a rental deed, which is also called a lease deed, which is also called a lease in the Western world. So it's a contract, it's a legal document prepared by lawyers. So because there are obligations of a tenant, there are obligations and responsibilities of landlord. Everything is drafted. As per the Indian law, if you want to have a lease of a real estate property, of a bungalow or something, there are two types of having a lease. One is a registered lease, second is an unregistered lease. The registration, Indian Registration Act stipulates that anything which you convey a property, if you're conveying means if you're transferring the possession of the land or of a bungalow or a house or an apartment, you need to get it registered. That means you're going to the registration office, pay the stamp duty and register the document. What does it mean? The registration makes the document valid. It is, under the Indian evidence law, it's admittable document. You don't have to question it. Once it's registered, that means the landlord has to go, or the property management company has to go to the registration office, the tenant goes and they register the lease. So it's a registered lease deed now. So these are legal formalities done by the attorneys or solicitors or the property management company. And once this is done, the second step is the tenant occupies the property. Once he occupies the property, before he occupies, he has to pay the deposit and maybe a couple of months of rent. So that money is being deposited into the landlord's account.
Good.
And this job is done by the property management company. So what is the benefit property management gets? They get a certain percentage of commission or property management fees. And these are done by the lawyers now in the Western world. Why? Because the money is being deposited in an escrow account, which is also called a trust account. Because this money belongs to the client. The lawyers cannot touch that money. Only with the consent and only after invoicing the client and let the client knows, they can take the money. And unfortunately in India, there is no trust account or escrow account. Big law firms, they do maintain in India too. But in general, advocates under the Advocates Act, this provision is not there. So most of the advocates and most of the property management companies, they do have trust accounts. They have the account of the client. So that money cannot be touched for the transparency purposes and for accounting purposes, because that belongs to the tenant, landlord, not to their money. So they can only charge their fees. And third thing is, let's say the municipality sends a water bill. Who pays the water bill? So now it is all said in the lease deed. The landlord and the property management company and the tenant agrees whether the water bill is being paid by the landlord or by the tenant. It's there in the lease deed. Fourth thing is, the most important thing is property tax. Who pays the property tax? Whether the tenant pays the property tax, whether the landlord pays the property tax. Now the property management companies, what they would do, they will deduct the rental income and they will pay the taxes. And if there is any, for example, if there is a leak in the rainy season, or if the bathroom is leaking, or if there's a tap is leaking, the tenant informs the property managers. And the property managers are plumbers, carpenters, electricians. they get it fixed. And what they do, they deduct the fees and they spend all the money, and for the raw materials, they inform the owner. So the owner sitting in the Western world somewhere, if you're in UK, you don't have this basic stress of collecting the rent, depositing the money in bank account, paying the real estate tax, paying the water bill, and maintenance of the property. If your apartment is in a corporate building or a cooperative society building or in a building where you have to pay maintenance also. So those things are taken care of by the property management companies. It's a beautiful concept because it reduces a lot of stress on the landlords. And nobody occupies unlawfully, because in India there's a big problem, because I do get calls from now and then from different parts of the world that the landlords they die and their children don't know how to manage it, because they're second generation in the Western world, in Britain or Australia or New Zealand or Europe or America. The kids don't know where the properties are, first of all, and kids don't know what are the rental income. So now they're in a crisis. Yesterday I got a call from Minnesota. This young lady said that she has properties in Hyderabad, Madras and different parts of India. Her father died and mother became very sick. She became old. She don't know where the documents are. And she's retained a lawyer in Chennai. That lawyer is giving a runaround. And she says that she doesn't have the documents of title deed.
Yeah.
The title deed is basically a sale deed. And if you lose a title deed, you can go to the registration office, you can apply for a certified copy. It's a public document. If you get the certified copy, that's a good deed. That's good to go under the Indian evidence law. But most of the times, people who are overseas don't know how these things are worked.
Yeah.
So most of the times, the solicitors they do the running around. They do the donkey's job and they charge, they bill, which is good because they're doing the running around. So we are trying to do that in Hyderabad now. And my firm, Kaveri Law Firm, intends to take certain assignments from NRIs, non-resident Indians, or for a matter of that, even some foreign corporations. If they want us to do those things, we can do. Starting from identifying the tenant, leasing it out, getting the lease registered, pay the bills, and do the maintenance, and deposit the rent to the landlords, and give them the accounts every 6 months or 1 year. And this will be quite transparent. And being a solicitor, I'm a solicitor by myself from Great Britain, so I have an obligation to maintain the transparency, because our accounts get audited by the Law Society. So, not many lawyers in India are familiar with this process, especially sole advocates, but lawyers in Delhi, lawyers in Bombay, they're very familiar, solicitors firms, they do this, and even in Calcutta. So I guess for Andhrites or Telanganites, they can hire our services, we can take care of it. Initially, we can have a retainer with the clients. We will explain what are the duties and what are the responsibilities, how much it costs, and how much of time. And if they want us to work for 1 year, that's fine. If they want us to work for more time, that's fine. We can negotiate our prices and we can take it from there. And the other most important thing which I would suggest the viewers is, these days most of the NRIs get cheated. And the tenants comes and they say they're rich people, they only come for 1 or 2 months time and they disappear. Yeah. And many times they don't pay the rent. So there is a hardship of taking them to the court, serving them notices. When you serve them the notice, they don't take it, and taking them to the tenancy court, because the tenancy courts are, they're clogged with cases. They're not moving. So, there are ways in the lease deed you can draft that instead of going to the typical courts, you can have an arbitration clause, and you can have, different clauses to have a watertight contract for the landlords to, to protect the best interest of the landlords. And there are so many issues which we cannot finish in this 10 minutes video. But if they call us, they can contact me on my cell phone. They can visit my website, www.kavettilaw.com, and they can also get in touch with me on my WhatsApp phone. My WhatsApp phone is 917-324-7803, and they can contact me. We'll be happy to talk to them and advise them. And even if any landlords were having problems now, in terms of getting the documentation, or in terms of getting the legal aid certificate, in terms of changing the properties to their name, if their mother, father, they're demised, all those things we can do. This is called conveyancing. We can take care of that too. So it's a very complex area, and it's a very specialized area. In New York, because I have some properties, so I've been working with some property management companies. I know the complexities. And I also have taken some tenants to the court, even in US and India. So I know it's how hard it is. And being a lawyer, it's so hard for me. So for being a layman, it's becoming tough and tough. So we're willing to help them if they contact us. And because I'm being a lawyer for 30 years in 4 different continents, they can check up my credibility. And we will not, cheat, or we will not. We make a promise and we will not breach that promise. We'll keep up our good work, and we can take care of it.
Right, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So thanks for the information, sir. And guys, cheer up, kavettilaw.com. Please go through the website, and if you want any questions, any queries, please message to that particular WhatsApp number, or if please go through the website. And we are here to serve Kavetti Law in Hyderabad right now. Thank you so much.